This is Let's Talk Business with your host, Marc Ebinger. Now, here's Marc.
Welcome back to the Let's Talk Business podcast. Coming up on the show today, we're going to talk about scaling a business to offer additional services. In studio with us today, we've got Mory Moncivais-Perez, the owner of Benny's Pools. Mory, welcome to the show.
Hi, guys. Thank you for having me. I'm really excited to be here with you guys, talk a little bit about business.
And have a little bit of fun.
Yes, of course. Always down to have a little fun.
We were chopping it up just a minute ago, Kyan was picking on me, just for the record, but...
It's on record now.
It's on
Objection.
All right, I'm your host, Marc Ebinger, the owner of Krukus Virtual Staffing, a company that recruits overseas virtual assistants for business owners here in the United States for as little as $350 a month.
And I'm your co-host, Jenevy Sims, owner of the Evolve Firm, where we help business owners evolve to elevate through creative branding strategies.
And I'm Kyan Frith, your co-host, the CEO of KV Impact Consulting. We are business consultants and coaches, and we help business owners realize their dreams through enabling and facilitating.
Quick reminder to follow the Let's Talk Business podcast on all major podcast platforms and social media, where you can catch video versions of the show. You can get to everything easily from our website at satalkradio.com. Have you seen any of the show yet, Mory? It's okay if you haven't.
I've just seen a couple clips.
Yes. So we're redoing our clips on how we, jazzing them up just a little bit with some of the new age technology stuff. Have you guys checked it out yet?
Yes,
What do you think?
absolutely. I love it. Are you using AI?
No.
No.
Well, we use AI in the initial cut to bring all 5 cameras together.
Okay.
Brooke runs that. But that's CapCut that you're seeing that I've got 2 social media managers that work that stuff, and we're just kind of fine-tuning it.
Great.
Just kind of jazzing
That's
it
awesome.
up a bit.
Love it. Kyan hasn't seen it yet.
No comment. I just like the way you use the word jazz, and I'm just thinking of there's a jazz club down at the Pearl I'm dying to go to soon.
Oh, that one's phenomenal. That's my favorite.
Is it really good? Must check it out with my
And
wife.
they do
then.
salsa nights, too.
Ooh, awesome. Appreciate that.
So as you're expanding your business, a couple of things I'm excited to talk about is like what, motivation to do that, how you're going to kind of go about that. But we'll also talk a little bit about putting together like the irresistible offer, which I think is pretty cool. It's on our sheet. Did we talk about that when you were, Elizabeth, when you were on the... Yeah, a little bit. Okay, good. So it's not a complete shock. But crafting that, offer that says, hey, this is what we've got, this is why you should get it, and why you should get it now, and all of that, and why it's the best of the best and all that. Super interesting to me. So as you guys are expanding into the service business, beyond the pooling thing, I'm curious what your angle is on that. But give us a little bit of your background, how you got into the pool business.
Okay. So our pool business actually started about 30 years ago. My dad was the one who started it. So my dad originally started with maintenance and just kind of over the years started learning the trades of pool building. As I got a little older, about my 20s, he had decided to transition from just maintenance to building. So he just solely focused on building. And by that point, I was already married. My husband had gotten out of the military, and he had offered us, to kind of teach us his business. And it's something he's always wanted to keep in our family. So I've always kind of knew it was going to come my way eventually, I'm an only child, so who else, right? So while my husband was focusing on maintenance, my dad had more time to just build. And he just found that he really liked it. I mean, it brought in great income. He's a people person. So he can honestly talk you into buying pretty much anything. If it's not a pool, hey, maintenance might be something you're interested in, or expanding your pool, anything like that. So after a while, we got into pool building as well. So now it's just a family company. And like I said, we've been doing this for 30 years. So my dad, kind of knows a lot of people around town, knows a lot of the tricks of the trade. So
you guys were maintenance first, then pool building second?
Yes.
Okay, so what's the expansion then that you guys are looking at doing now?
So right now we've focused on just residential. So now we're expanding and we're doing commercial as well, and focusing more on commercial. And we're also expanding outside of San Antonio. So we're now in Houston. Hopefully we're looking at Dallas in the future as well.
Okay.
So
how do you approach the commercial side? Is it for apartment complexes or what?
it's going to be for apartment complexes. We actually just did some work too for TMI. So schools are are also something that we're looking into. We just resurfaced their pool, actually, so it's a nice Olympic-sized pool. So obviously TMI has a bunch of students that they host throughout the year, and so, we'd like to hit that market as well, as well as HOAs. That's another big business that we're kind of getting into because we're seeing a lot of builds everywhere. And, Houston, San Antonio, they're expanding, going further out in the outskirts. So that's
especially up 35.
Oh, yes.
I'm curious, is it easier to sell the maintenance, I would imagine, if you guys are the one building the pool?
It is. So typically what we do is when we build, we offer pool school towards the end of the build. And once we talk to our customers, we can always say, hey, if you're interested, we also offer our maintenance. And we just kind of send them over to our technician, which is my husband. And he's the one that kind of talks to them in regards to pricing, if they want to do like a year-long contract, maybe just month to month, or just generally pool school, and maybe they want to take care of it. But he'll teach them how to work the equipment, what type of chemicals they'll need, things like that.
Is that easy to do on your own, or is it really just better to have somebody else do it because of the formulations and all of that?
So typically what we like to do is we offer for our customers to kind of go with our technician, so to get their maintenance done through our company, because we know what chemicals to use so we don't have any erosion with any of the plaster, because we would hate for you to get spots or anything like that would ruin your plaster. And that would just, create a bigger problem for you, and we don't want that.
Is it tied to warranty?
Yes.
Okay, so if you don't have the maintenance from you guys, does that affect the warranty in any way?
It does not.
Okay.
No.
But
it
you
just
can tell if you've done something wrong. Or
yes,
you're not
we can definitely tell
Okay.
if, they call us and say, oh, hey, we have this giant white spot that we can't get rid of. Okay, well, we'll typically go out there and ask, well, okay, do you do your own maintenance? Do you have someone that comes out? If they do, just let us know. We always like honesty instead of, kind of trying to hide it. But then we can just go from there and help them out. And, hopefully it's not anything serious where we would need to replaster it, because then that would cost our customers more money to do that. So,
Well, I want to kind of go back to the family business part. When your dad was creating the business and you saw him build it, and, you got to see the trials and challenges he had as a business owner, and you said you knew it was going to come your way, and you were preparing for that. What were some of the things that you kind of took from him as a learning curve to prepare yourself to take over the business?
So I really always saw my dad as just such a hard worker. He always did his absolute best. He always made the customers happy, always went out of his way to go above and beyond for them. So that's something that I definitely can say that I took from him. And I mean, just to see how my dad he's a fighter. He is a fighter. There were days, when there's times throughout the year where we're a little bit slower than most seasons. For instance, during the winter. During the winter, I mean, nobody's out there using their pools. So that's usually our tough time. And my dad wouldn't let that get him down. He was always just looking for the next job, next best thing that he could be doing. Hey, if I'm not, building right now, what else could I be doing? How can I sell the maintenance? How can I, maybe get somebody ready for their next pool in the spring? So I always look forward to that kind of thing. I'm always trying to think one step ahead, so I have something planned and,
Yeah,
well
that
executed.
sounds like what you've done, because now you're expanding, now you're scaling. So you're taking your dad's vision, you're running with it and going up to the next level. When you were telling him your ideas of expanding, how did he take it? Was that something he told you he wanted you to do, or something you took initiative?
Well, so my dad has always kind of envisioned the expansion. He didn't really have like an idea right away about where he wanted to expand, but he knew that that's what he wanted to do. So when he came to us, to my husband and I, and we sat down and we talked about it, he let us know, okay, so in order for us to go ahead and expand, that means we're going to have to start kind of moving away, kind of trying to check out some territory and see what's up and coming, where do we have more potential. So my dad said, let's try Houston. He said, let me go check it out. You guys can manage here, continue to expand here. Let me go and try something new. So that was kind of a scary moment for us because we've really felt that pressure of, oh man, this is on us now. I'm like, it's do or die. But it's worked out so far. We're really happy. We're expanding and just trying to do as best as we can with what we have now.
So, Kyan, I'm real curious. I know conversations we've had in the past, it's not always about expansion. It's about digging deeper into what your existing, what services you have with your existing clients that you can extract additional revenue out of. So I'm curious as she's talking about expansion, because you mentioned it before, how that's cash heavy. There's a lot of cash out when you're doing expansions. Yeah. Do you have any questions around that part of it? About
it was interesting. So when we were talking about it before, and you're talking through all the expansion, you got to bear in mind I'm a numbers guy, so I'm the accountant. For me, expansion can be really cash intensive. Operationally, it's very difficult, and it just started alarm bells going off in my mind. Because I'm like, okay, how's this? And there were so many things going on at once. I'm like, how's this being controlled? So not just from a cash perspective, but from a resource perspective. And I'm kind of intrigued on how you're now going to make sure that you can expand out in the San Antonio market, because San Antonio is growing so much. Now, you can drive in any direction, and there's expansion going on. So the opportunities here are, I would have thought, enormous. Now you're going quite a long way to Houston. I was surprised it was Houston first, not Austin, which is closer. And how are you now going to fulfill that expansion in Houston? Is this a satellite office? How are you going to deal with branding issues and marketing into a completely new market where they don't know? You've been here 30 years. And so how are you then going to service that in Houston and continue to grow it out? And I don't wish to put the fear of God into you as I'm asking these questions, but I'm really intrigued because there's lots of other people who'll be listening to this podcast going, I'm going to nail the San Antonio market. Perhaps I've been here 20, 30, 40 years, and now I'm just going to go and do another city. Like, it's not that straightforward. So I'm kind of intrigued on your insight, your research, how you've gone about it, how you're going about it, that would be really kind of relevance to other people without it stripping all your cash out of the business.
Yeah, so I guess the core question, maybe at least on my mind for that, is what's the motivation to go into a different market as opposed to digging deeper in the market here? Is it lack of the proper clientele here in San Antonio for what I'm seeing Elizabeth nod her head over there. It's like you can actually target maybe the top 10% income families in Houston, which is a huge market. So I'm really curious the motivation there.
So a lot of the motivation behind it was that, yes, in San Antonio, we kind of feel like we have exhausted a lot of our resources here. A lot of people really feel like you could get a really big pool for under about $100,000, which you can find something smaller, something a good size. But what we're looking for is we want bigger projects, more
high end.
High end.
Okay.
And so that's why we decided, okay, San Antonio was kind of just, for lack of better words, dead. And so we decided, let's just take the chance. Let's go to Houston and we'll start. We originally were Four Seasons, and now we're moving into Benny's Pools LLC. So we're under one just solid marketing brand. And so what we started doing was we built our website, and with our website, we also had a lot of our customers from San Antonio kind of give feedback, and we had videos, we have testimonies where they talk about the work that was done for them and how satisfied they were. We feel like if our customers in Houston can see those videos, see those testimonies, it would help that kind of like make them feel a little bit more comfortable knowing, oh, hey, they've been in business for 30 years. They have all these great testimonies. Why not take a chance?
Okay, so one of the things going through my mind, though, is San Antonio, you're not the only pool builders here.
Correct.
There's a lot of competitors. You're not going into a virgin market
Correct.
in Houston. There's a lot of competitors yet again.
Mm-hmm.
So now you got to take your brand that's not recognized in Houston to Houston, using the testimonials, which are very powerful, I appreciate. But there's other suppliers who are already in Houston, been doing it a very long time, and already working in that high-end market. So how are you going to penetrate that market?
So
Yeah.
that one I feel like Liz might be able to answer a little bit better too.
Right, but you guys do have a
But
strategy
we do.
in place to
We
go
do.
and penetrate that market.
Okay,
Yeah.
Yes.
nice.
Well, the services that you offer, you've added on to your services as well, right?
Yes. So now what we're also looking to hit is we started another sister company. It's called Aquastar. That one's going to focus on the maintenance and management for like HOAs, for other, I'm sorry,
So more on the
commercial
commercial.
pools, other commercial pools as well. So that's something else that we were wanting to focus on because we would see a lot of that here in San Antonio. We had other companies that would come to us that were managing different pools, things like that, asking us for things. So we kind of thought, well, hey, that's something that we haven't tried. Why don't we go ahead and try managing pools as well? So that way we don't have to worry about going through competitors for bids for these jobs. So that was something else.
So the pool management is everything's going to come out of Benny's Pools, and all of it go to that separate entity.
Yes.
And you're going to market that as a completely new service.
Yes.
San Antonio and Houston, or further afield?
Yes. It's going to be for San Antonio and Houston. And then as we start expanding,
Okay.
it'll
And that's
grow
with a
with us.
dedicated team in Houston?
Yeah, so right now we're working on putting a really good team together. We have my parents out there right now. So really my parents are the ones that are kind of just going from one place to the other and really like helping it grow. What we also like to do is we like to send Liz because she's really good with spotting talent for that. So, she'll go and she'll help train our team, get them ready. And that way they have all the knowledge that they need. If they ever have questions, we're the head office here in San Antonio. So they can always, call us, ask us questions, things like that.
What are some other ways to extract revenue? I mean, you've got the build out, obviously, and I don't even know all the components of the build out where there's opportunities for revenue, but also the maintenance, which makes perfect sense to me. But is there anything else that's left on the table there that you guys, as far as a revenue source?
Yes, we build outdoor kitchens. We can do a lot of just construction work like that. We've seen a lot of people ask for, a really nice pool, and then they think, oh, hey, well, I like to host parties. I think I need a great outdoor kitchen to match this.
Yep.
So that's something else that we cater to as well. We had one customer, she had asked us for a gazebo, outdoor storage, and a bathroom. That's something else that we were thinking like, okay, yeah, we could totally do this. So we did it, and
Not straight into the pool.
yeah, it was like,
No.
hey, like showers, outdoor bathrooms, perfect for the
makes
kids.
sense.
So in essence, what you're actually developing up here is something that it's a lifestyle brand. It's not about selling pool construction.
Correct.
It's not about pool management in any way. It's about how do you want to live your life.
Correct.
Yeah, figuring out what you're selling is super important and super fun too, and super difficult at times.
Yes.
But in that course, that leads to then making connections with people who throw backyard parties, right? Like who do events in the backyard. So making those good connections, you guys have those in order too, if somebody wants to do that?
Yes. So usually, we'll have some customers that'll say like, hey, we're going to have a graduation party. We would like, XYZ ready by that time. Okay, we got it. No worries. We will take care of it. Everything that needs to be fixed in their pool will get fixed. Or if they, are building a pool, but they have that time frame, we try to usually get them under that time frame to make sure that they have everything that they need. And what we like to do is we're very one-on-one with our customers. It's all about customer care with us. So because we're a smaller family-owned business, we can cater a little bit more personally to our customers in that sense. So at the end of the builds, we always love to do the walkthroughs with them and make sure that they love what we've built for them.
No, that's a great segue into the marketing and branding side of things. Are you recording these things? Are you getting videos, pictures? Are you obviously building a customer journey along the way, but then also sharing that across social media? I would just be curious what your marketing and branding side of that is.
We actually have not really gotten into that too much, but that's something that we were looking to get into now. We started seeing that a lot of customers, really future customers as well, really like to see what it takes from, phase 1 to the very end. So what we like to do is we will walk with our customers through the entire process. If they ever have questions, if they ever need anything, hey, we're just a phone call away, an email away. We will show up. We will talk to you. We will let you know what's going on. There's never a time when our customers don't know what's going on.
That's great for the customer. I'm seeing opportunities as well for like when you get in and let's say there's a unique situation you guys are addressing with the pool or something with the build, and now you're addressing that, but it's on camera. And that ends up being you're elevating your guys' status as experts, authority in that particular space. Jenevy, any ideas on how they should approach that kind of a idea?
Absolutely. You definitely need the video. So storytelling. So from phase 1 to the last part, just a story and, those video shots of your people in action, your client's reaction to it. There's always those moments where you're just scrolling and then you see kind of like that, or you hear that music and you're like, oh, what's going on here? And then you see that process that compels your buyers to pick up the phone. So it's very important to always integrate those videos. Reels, you should be doing at least 3 to 4 reels a day. And then your YouTube stories.
That's a lot of reels.
It is.
Right.
But as the algorithm has been changing, you will see that 30-second reels are the highest views. So videos are very, very important. Even if it's something as simple as, before and after slider reels. Those are powerful, especially in the service industry. This is what it looked like when we came in. This is the after, Just one of those, we get a quick call real quick.
So I love the before and afters. I like that kind of stuff on YouTube. Show me a yard before, like overgrown weeds, or it's just empty space. And now show me after. And then in between, a time lapse. I do like I do like a good time lapse. You go, oh my gosh, look at that transformation. And you want to take it to a whole nother level, cordon off that whole thing so the owners can't see it. So there is a big reveal. You're like, oh my gosh,
yes,
look what you guys have done, kind of thing. I mean, yeah.
Well, and another thing to add to the end of that then, so, because you can obviously have content all along the stage of the process, but then having a professional interview with the client after the reveal and after all that, where you guys come into a situation and you ask a few questions and then you tack that. Of course, that can be its own piece on your website, but then you tack that on to the end of your story, which is maybe a 90-second or 2-minute video on YouTube. Very, very powerful. But there's so much potential there that I see.
Sorry, can I just talking about revenue streams? Are we on commission?
I feel like
with all this advice, did they sign the agreements?
No. That's just the soul of the show. Is like you're in a room of people that are obviously, we have our specialties and stuff, but that's just some of the things that I think that pop out.
Yeah.
One thing I'm wondering is you're doing also very high end here, so actually the videos are very important.
Yes, quality videos.
Quality videos, because they need to match the quality of the work you're doing if it's so high end. I'm just intrigued. How many of these high-end pools are you doing a year? We're not talking about like 50 or 100. We're talking about a handful. If they're that high-end, okay.
It's about a handful.
How many do you want to have a year?
Oh, well, definitely more than a handful. But we would definitely like to get maybe around, what would you say? Yeah, maybe about 25, 30.
Here in San Antonio?
Here in San Antonio, in Houston as well. That'd be great.
25 in each?
Yeah, that would.
Oh, I like this. You're talking my kind of numbers now. Now you just got my interest up. Do you have the capacity for that? How easy is it? You could do 25 with the current capacity you've got. That therefore says to me that if you're only doing about 6 or so a year that you've got total and utter underutilization of your staff, which is
Yes.
costing you a fortune.
Yes, we definitely, it's something that it's doable for us. That's one thing that, like I said, we like to market the fact that we like to knock out these pools between 6 to 12 weeks, and we can get it done.
Quick.
As long as we have no weather issues, as long as we have no hiccups with their HOA, with permits, we're good to go, and we can get it done.
But so a high end in 12 weeks. But I thought when I look on YouTube, a lot of those, they're taking a lot longer because they got big rock formations going into them, and just the lead time on materials. I mean, you're 12 weeks. Wow. Well, if there's someone out there who wants a high end pool, they need to get in contact with Benny's Pools, because that's a pretty
Before
impressive,
the summer is over.
Yeah,
Yes.
pretty fast turnaround.
So the numbers on that, so at 25 pools, $100,000 each is $2.5 million revenue in a year. That's, how is that for revenue wise? Is that where you guys want to be, or?
Yeah, I mean, you're looking at high end is more probably like 150.
Okay.
Right now, you're looking at 100 is probably like an average.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
for
100 is kind of about
residential.
average.
Residential,
Residential.
though, not commercial.
Not commercial.
What is it?
But you're talking about getting to 25 high ends a year.
Okay.
He's liking those numbers.
And that'll put,
making him
okay, so
happy.
where's the stress going to come from on your crew? Because that's obviously what, four times the
Which is
jobs?
saying you've got capacity. So there's no pressure on the crew to do 25.
But that's the question. Is it stress on your crew, or can your crew handle that?
No, our crew can handle it. They're used to kind of just, going from one job to the next, and they have it down. They know what they're doing. They feel pretty confident with it. So
This would be managing probably 3 or 4 projects at a time, right?
yes,
Cool.
Yes.
Project
Wow.
management.
or more.
So one of the things going on at the moment, obviously, we're seeing a massive rise in material costs, particularly around timber, etc. Obviously, you're not using, hopefully, not much timber within your constructions, but generally, material costs are going up. Is that really hitting your margins, or are you just scaling up your prices to match it?
Yeah, just very little by little. We definitely do want to give our customers the best price for their money's worth, but at the same time, we also do want to try to find a way to match our competitors' prices and give them still the best price and show them why they should go with us. Like, hey, look, this person is going to give you the pool of your dreams, but it's going to cost you, maybe another 20,000, where we could maybe do it for less, like 10,000 less, save you some money.
So that's
Yeah,
called
why
a
not?
race to the bottom in the business world. And I know we've talked about this as well, but that's where, honing in on the offer, right? What are the things that make your business and your offer stand out far and above the competition? Because if it's just about the dollar, then it's a race to the bottom. Kyan?
Yeah, exactly. So as you were saying that, and Mark's
could
kind
feel
of, man, we're on the,
Yeah, well, we've talked,
Are y'all vibing right now?
we are vibing.
we vibe a little bit.
It's nice. I feel that in the kind of market you guys are in, it's not about price. It's not about the dollar. It's a value proposition. It's all about the investment. I don't like hearing the words like cost involved, because it's not. They're investing into a lifestyle. So therefore, there has to be a value proposition that you're not just selling to the client. The client is feeling for themselves and going, I get this. And actually, compared to my competitors, you're talking my language. The value you're talking about here just makes utter sense. And I don't always hear that when you're dealing in high-end situations. It's not a language you hear. You still hear dollar and price. And I can beat you on customer quality. Like, who cares? Sell the dream. It's the value thing. It's a compelling offer that makes people go, I love you guys. And you're going to save me X amount per annum as well. But if I do my maintenance with you as opposed to fantastic.
It's all
There's a
luxury.
value in that luxury. Yeah,
Yeah, and
definitely.
when you're identifying where you guys are excel and then documenting all that, that's where like the content and stuff like that, having high-end content like that to help people feel that, okay, these are the people I want to go with. I identify with them. Oh, that's my friend Tammy. She had the pool built, and she's got this beautiful video of the whole thing being done, and her talking about it at the end. People, that's a huge emotional, draw, I think.
Absolutely.
And it has to be a quality video. We're not just talking about,
Yes.
I mean, one of the things I'm learning is there are so many videographers here in San Antonio. Fantastic. What you need is quality filmmakers who
Absolutely.
can actually put it in the video that just looks.
Storytelling.
Captures
Well,
the
Jeff
moment.
Jeff Goldblatt did that one for Heather. Phenomenal job. He's a storyteller, and his track record's big. I mean, with major networks and stuff. But he's a storyteller when it comes to videos and stuff like that. But that's where you want to head, I think, when it comes to that part of it.
Especially if you're going to be looking to move from half a dozen to 25 and you're driving it, like, you're going to have to raise the bar. you know?
Absolutely. We definitely like to focus on selling the dream oasis for your backyard.
Thank you so much. Do I get a discount for?
Absolutely.
Get $5 off.
$5 off.
Save $5. So I'd like to get into this, focus in a little bit on the offer and how, and we can use maybe what you guys are doing as an example as much as you're able to. But because when you're structuring your offer, and this is really differentiating yourself from other people, there's lots of different ways to do it. But let's start with, like, when you guys go to sell your pool, what are the things that really make you guys stand out?
Invite people
in
to
that offer?
invest rather than sell.
Well, I would say it really helps our customers feel very, I guess, at home with us, because we always start off with, hey, we're a family company. This is how we started. And then we just kind of go from there. We make you feel more like family. Like, we're not just here to just kind of take your money. We're not here to, it's not just a business. This is, we're really just trying to sell you on your dreams. And we want to make you feel very comfortable. So what helps us stand out is that we kind of have a little bit of background with family, with just kind of finding out what you want. We all come from different backgrounds, so we all have different things that we bring to the table when we're ready to sell. So Elizabeth may be able to sell her pool on, hey, I'm new, I'm young couple, we're looking for a pool. She could probably sell it really well to them because, hey, she's really young. She's a homeowner, so she kind of gets that, My parents maybe could sell it better for an older couple looking to retire, looking for, something for the grandkids, because that's their selling point. They have their grandkids. They know. So
What do you think the number one thing is when it comes to somebody choosing your company or not choosing your company?
wow, let me think.
I would think trust.
Our experience and trust.
Trust would be like a huge thing. Do I believe that you can do the thing you say you guys are going to do with my unique backyard situation?
So let me give you a good example. We had a customer that moved here from Florida. They were looking for a specific style of pool. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the pools in Florida. They have that glass encasement. That's what he was looking for.
Because of alligators.
Yes, because alligators.
Yeah.
Fortunately, they don't have to worry about that here.
Not yet, anyway.
But that was something that they were looking for. We were able to get their dream pool for them and make them feel like they were back in Florida. The best part is, like I said, we are able to make that connection because we're able to show them that they're not alone in this process. At any given time when they called us, we were there. We showed up. We talked them through all of their questions and made sure that they understood everything that was going on. And I think that's one thing that made them feel so comfortable with us. And by the end of it, they were like, yeah, we definitely made the right choice.
And that's always something, too, with service-based industries, is that it's becoming to the point where everything has systems. Mm-hmm. So when you text them, it's an automated reply from a computer or a bot, rather than that personal touch or having somebody come out, service the pool, and then that personal follow-up rather than fill out this survey. Mm-hmm. They're calling to say, is everything okay? That's what it sounds like. You have that customer service that is now starting to get lost I mean, I'm starting to see it now, especially in our service-based clients, where they're so focused on system processing that human touch kind of gets lost on the wayside. And I'm so glad that you guys are bringing that and continuing to bring that, especially with the business, because, again, this is somebody's dream. This is somebody's investment, hard work money that they're putting into their home that they're going to invite people to. So when they're asking a professional, you know, they have this idea in their head, but you're also the professional. So there's times where you're like, that's a great dream, but reality is this, because this is what's best for you, without, you know, smashing their dreams in a sense, right? Because you're the professional, but also bringing that personal touch that says, what is it really that you want, you know, in your backyard? What do you want people to feel when they step into your yard? And I think that's one of your biggest, you know, factors that make you guys different.
Definitely. Another thing is that my dad, as the owner, he personally goes to every job site, and he will talk to every single customer to make sure that they know, hey, if you want the number one guy here, hey, I'm here, whatever you need. He's not just going to send out just whoever, another employee or anything like that. We definitely want them to know that they are being heard. We are definitely listening to all the feedback, and we are willing to work with them every step of the way.
So I love this. We're talking about customer experience here, high-end customer experience. I'm a believer in lifelong learning. I like looking at other industries and learning from them to bring that knowledge into my business, the way I help my clients and how my clients help themselves. With what you're doing, what are other industries that you're looking at that you can learn from to ensure that you're enhancing and continuing to develop out your customer experience so that it's always absolutely top-notch, high-end?
What would you say, Liz?
And if not, is it something you could maybe look at doing?
I definitely think we could definitely look into it.
We had a guest on the show, Jordan Williams with Triton Cleaning. He does the trash can cleaning and power washing, stuff like that. Cool guy, but a really good, savvy business guy. I mean, he's in full-on acquisition mode. He's acquired 3 or 4 different local companies that just can't hack it. So he understands business very, very well. One of the things that he said on the show was that he has here's an expectation list for his customer. This is everything we're going to do for you, right? And then at the end of it, they sit down and they go over it again with the client. Did we meet this? Did we meet this? You know, all the way through with them. So understanding clearly what the customer's expectations are, and then actually going back and saying, did we meet everything? And then, of course, you know, getting the review and stuff from there seems super, super smart. But understanding your client's mindset, I'm really curious. Somebody who's going to spend 150, 200 grand on a pool, what's their mindset? What are they really looking for? What is that trigger for them that says, okay, I'm going to choose Benny's over Czar's? I mean, what is that? How do we know what that is that triggers that? Is it emotion? Is it relationship? I mean, what is the deal there?
I feel like it's the relationship. I feel like my dad really, he's, like I said, he's a people person. He can really connect with his customers. He can really make their dreams happen. And what we like to do, the process really is we go out to your house to give you a quote. And we will go out there, we will take measurements, we will take pictures. We sit down with you and we kind of go over what you would like. Would you like a free form? Would you like a rectangular pool? Would you like a spa? No spa. After that, we bring everything to the office. Liz is actually really great with designs. So she works on your designs. The pictures, what they do is help us kind of get a better layout of your backyard. And that way we can kind of put it all into the design. And that way when we show you the design, hey, you're envisioning your backyard just as you did, you know? Hey, here's my pool with, you know, my beach entry.
So they feel heard.
They definitely.
You're listening, and then you're actually interpreting what they want.
And if there's ever anything that they don't like, any changes, anything like that, we make it happen before we actually go out there and start building, because we want to make sure that they are seeing their dream. Because like we like to tell them, you will be walking out here every morning to see your pool. I would hate to give you a pool that you don't like, because you're going to be stuck with this pool for however long you're here, 20 plus years probably. So we want to make sure we're giving you exactly what you want.
Well, and you're wrapping it in lifestyle, to Kyan's earlier point. But I would still be curious if you went back to your customers and asked them, why did you choose us? And see what their response is.
So we've heard a lot of customers before. They like the fact that my dad was very involved in the project. They don't normally see like the CEOs come out and personally talk to you and really listen to you and to what you're looking for. And I think that's something that they really enjoy. I've heard customers say, I love Benny. He's like my dad. He's just great. He's like family.
So the customer experience is great, but that isn't
Yeah.
why they chose, because they chose before the customer experience. Why did they choose you guys over the competitors? That, I think, is a really, really, really important point to know so that you can dive deep on that.
And it's an aspect that so many businesses need to address.
Yes.
They need to understand it, because they start to understand it, they can then differentiate. They can then actually start to drive how they're going to go about acquiring more clients, how they can work with people like Jenevy to build out the brand and so forth. It's a really important question to answer.
I'll give you an example based just on my staffing company. I know, obviously, I network a lot, so a lot of people know me. So that is a big factor. I'm networked with them, so it's easy. There's a high trust factor already, but that's not always it. So when I changed my pricing structure on how people can hire VAs, that unlocked that unlocked a lot more doors, because price point was an issue, or the getting started point, or the too many hours. They had to do a minimum of 40 hours. Now it's just a minimum of 10 hours a week. It's just, but that was because I was listening to them, figuring out, why are you not choosing, or why are you choosing? And so that's why I think that's important, because then you can dial in heavy on it. That'll help with your offer, and then you can actually advertise that. Once you know what that thing is, that why people are pulling that trigger, you can blast that out everywhere.
Yeah.
Changes everything.
Can I ask a question about your design process?
Sure.
So at the moment, Liz, you're doing a lot of the design work. Fantastic. I presume it's 2D, and then you're showing them pictures when you sit down with a client. How about enhancing that experience with technology? Have you looked at VR, for example, so that people can then do walkthrough? They can actually walk around their new backyard using VR goggles.
Yeah, that's definitely something that we want to dive into because the designs are 3D.
Can't hear
Okay.
you over here, but yeah.
Sorry, the designs are 3D, but that's definitely something that we would like to get into, because I think that's more of a better experience for our customers. Actually, it's one thing to see it 3D, but it's another thing to experience it when you're actually walking through your backyard and seeing this,
Especially bear in mind you're dealing with high end.
Exactly. They're expecting that more and more these days. So it's like, then you figure out, what does that cost to do that? And just tack that on plus 30% to the price. Now you've got to
or it's built into your pricing.
Yeah.
Model.
Real estate is really diving into the VR, and it's doing really well. I got a chance to check out some of the new gear that they have for that, and to create that experience for your clients, it brought it up a whole new level. I was listening to business owners, especially commercial real estate, that were saying that it opened up a lot of doors for them, especially for business owners who's looking at these commercial properties, trying to build businesses and expand, and then being able to do that through that VR. Man, it was incredible. And so to be able to use the new technology that's coming up, that's how you'll be able to get that trust factor with the bigger high-end entities. And then also, just to kind of go back on what Mark was saying, of establishing that trust factor, that goes with the branding. How you've already, your dad has laid the foundation over 30 years. It does make a big difference to have the CEO of a company walk in and be part of the experience. But also, to Kyan's point, when you're getting ready to scale, especially in Houston and San Antonio, your dad won't be able to do both. So what's going to be in place of that, not to replace your dad, but to replace the experience? What's the next step of the company? That's I guess, one of the things we're trying to hone in and also, but to also point out the fact that 30 years has already established that trust factor. So when you're buying or looking for someone to build your pool, by the time they get to her and talk to her, they've done their research, because that's a big investment. So it's not like, shopping for the next vacuum cleaner. You just look at the reviews and go with that. But now you're looking at 30 years of experience, hard work, testimonials passed on to their Google reviews, and all those entities that are working on your SEO as well. So all that has already kind of been stacked up. So by the time they're making the phone call, they kind of have an idea. And it's to the point where when they talk to her, that's what closes the deal because of that client relationship. And it's the same thing, especially like with my company with branding. There's so many companies out there they can pick for graphic design. But what's going to close the deal is me and my staff. What we're bringing to the table, how we're interacting with them. So the trust factor is already being built by the time they give you a phone call.
Yes, that's absolutely right.
I really like that. You touched on something there, Jenevy, that I wanted to ask a question about. So your dad's heavily involved. I want to literally ask the question now, like, how are you going to manage things when your dad cannot be in multiple places? He's coping at the moment, you've got sort of half a dozen high-end jobs on the go. But when you get to 25 high-end jobs on the go in San Antonio and in Houston, okay, and he's been in the business for 30 years, which means he's not getting any younger. And one of the things I've seen
Don't
a lot...
tell him
I'm sorry. But this is an interesting one. So linked to this, I've been in business for 25 years. I've done a lot of work with family business owners, and succession planning has not been something that's been high up the agenda. And so you get to a point all of a sudden where health has deteriorated, a situation has changed, and there's not been a passing on of knowledge and information, the equipping and preparing for the next stage in the development of the business. Mm-hmm. How are you guys addressing that?
So my dad is actually working hand in hand with my husband. He is definitely teaching him everything he knows, tricks of the trade. And so he's actually preparing my husband for the more hands-on approach that he does in all the business. Where with me, he's just passing on more of the office knowledge for me, what I should be doing. And that's actually where Liz comes in. My dad worked with Elizabeth for a couple of years prior to me coming into the office officially. And so he really passed on a lot of that knowledge onto her. And my mom actually works with us in office too. So my mom has been helping me with the office. Everything has to do with, administration, the business, the ups and downs, the ins and outs. And my next step is to be working on designs just like Liz. So it really helps that I got to witness the company start from ground zero to where it is today, because I can appreciate all of that hard work. And now that I'm being entrusted with it, I get to continue my dad's legacy. I get to grow this business, and hopefully one day my kids will want to continue to grow the legacy that we're building. So we're just, working hand in hand to get that going.
I love that, building the legacy.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
I have 3 kids. One of them's going to get it.
One of them's going to get it. One of them.
Whether they like it or not.
Exactly.
You take this business. Do you know what me and your grandfather have done?
Exactly.
So improving the business all along the way is something that I like to always look at. And sometimes it's not comfortable really to look at what you've got in place and say, okay, well, what can I change? What can I add to it? What am I missing? So I think that if, from the discussion that we've had, looking at those trigger points for your client on why they're pulling the trigger, I think would be super helpful. Obviously, the storytelling part of it, I think, would be huge. Your branding side of it. But I'm excited for what you guys are doing. Keep on crushing it out there. Is there anything that we left off the table that you wanted to announce, or you got any announcements or anything?
No, I think we're good.
We can do drum rolls if you like.
I mean,
All right. Well, thanks for coming in. I really appreciate it. It was a great discussion. I hope you guys pulled some good nuggets out of it as well, because it's not just about learning about your business, but also is there things maybe that the expertise in the room can help with. So hopefully that was good for you guys.
Well, thank you for having us. We had a wonderful time.
And Mory, what's the best, if somebody wanted to reach out to you, what's the best way they can contact you?
They can go ahead and look us up on our website. It's going to be Benny's Pools LLC .com. Sorry. Or they can also reach out to our office. Our office number is 210-680-0088. Right? Oh, 0888. Sorry.
Say it all again.
210-680-0888. Sorry.
All right, and that's Ben is Benny.
S. Yeah.
Yeah, with an S on it. Okay, awesome. All right, thank you. All right, as we wrap up the show, quick reminder, check out our latest podcast and catch video version of the show anytime by visiting our website at satalkradio.com. That's going to be it for this one. You guys have a great week, and we'll see you on the next one.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's a wrap.